It was just another day on the island of Sodor, and all the engines were working hard. Duke was at the top station, talking with his friend Fergus. Ever since the cement works had been closed for blasting, Fergus had been reassigned to bring goods up and down the mountain line. As a result, he and Duke had become very close friends.
So, Fergus, did you ever get around to seeing Star Trek Beyond?
I told you, Duke, I missed it in theaters. My driver hasn't been able to find it in any store.
Oh man, you're totally missing out. Amazing summer flick. Totally reminded me of the original Trek. And I was around to see it when that first came out.
We get it, old-timer. But from what I've heard from you, I'll have to see it sometime.
Oh, you better get out of the way there, Fergus.
Gordon's not due for another 5 minutes. Besides, how would you even be able to hear his whistle? You're like 100, right?
I'm old, but I'm not that old.
Your constant references to His Grace say otherwise. But Duke was right. Gordon was early and came rushing up the mountain as fast as his wheels could carry him. He was trying to beat his own personal record. Gordon rounded a bend, and there ahead was Fergus and his train.
Get out of my way! Express coming through!
Oh, there goes my speed record.
Again?
Honestly, Fergus, we've talked about this. You must be out of the station by the time I get here. Sorry, Gordon, it's not my fault that I'm trying to have a nice conversation with my friend whom I don't get to see but for a few hours a week.
I'm not involved in this.
And what was so important about this conversation exactly? Star Trek Beyond.
Pah! And you wonder why I'm angry.
Really, Fergus, if you were a proper steam engine like I am, you'd understand the importance of hard work. Proper steam engine? This really pushed Fergus over the edge. Gordon didn't even get to finish his thought as Fergus had disappeared in a cloud of steam. Ha! Good riddance, then. Later that day, Fergus was in old Brenham shunting yard, where he usually worked with Coldy, the normal shunting engine. Coldy was a boxy sort of engine with a passion for shunting. Coldy hadn't been on the railway for very long, but when old Brenham was founded, Sir Topham Hatt knew that he made the right choice in choosing the little shunter. Fergus usually helped out Coldy in the yard after he made his deliveries to the Skarloey Railway. Coldy noticed Fergus looked a little glum. Hey there, Fergus. You're looking a little down. What's the matter? Nothing's wrong. It's just these cars are a little heavy, that's all. I really don't think that's the problem here, friend. You, didn't watch that terrible movie Jane Got a Gun that I told you to avoid on Netflix, did you? Oh, I blame myself for that one. No, Coldy, it's that tender engine Gordon. Nearly every day he shows up at the top station and bumps me out of the way when I'm in the middle of a conversation with my friend Duke. Well, he is an express engine friend, and that station does only have 2 platforms. Maybe you should consider moving out of Gordon's way prior to him arriving. Fergus was speechless. He was so cross with Coldy that the two didn't speak to each other for the rest of the day. That evening, Fergus went home to his shed and thought long and hard about how to get back at Coldy. But the more he thought about it, he came to the conclusion that Coldy had a valid point. Next morning, Fergus arrived early at the yard to apologize to poor Coldy. When he arrived, there was no one there. The yard manager ran up.
Oh, Fergus, you're just the engine I need. Coldy is running a little late this morning, and Gordon is due to leave with the express soon. Could you take his coaches to Knapford for me? Fergus didn't really want to help Gordon, especially about what had happened yesterday. But Fergus decided to take the high ground.
I'll get right on that, sir.
Thank you, Fergus.
Meanwhile, Gordon had just arrived at Knapford. What's the matter, Gordon? You're not looking too well.
Oh, it's nothing, James. Just a little clanking, that's all.
Clanking? Huh, sounds a little painful.
Oh, not entirely. I'll manage. Now, where are my coaches?
Fergus shunted Gordon's coaches together and set off for Knapford. Huh, shocking. I would have thought the express coaches would be heavier than this. They're actually quite light.
About time, Coldy. You almost made me late.
Sorry to disappoint you, Gordon, but I'm not Coley.
Fergus, you shunted these coaches?
Indeed I did. They're actually extremely light without any people inside.
Huh. Seems you're better at shunting than memorizing timetables.
Anyone else smell something burning? Because I think Fergus just got roasted. Can I get an amen for that one? Who says amen after a roast? I mean, I thought I'd added more levity to the roast, you know, to make it more effective, and just stop.
Enough talk! I have to have it completely quiet to hear the guard's whistle.
Really? You going deaf in your old age, Gordon? Because I hear tell that Stephen is having the exact same problem. Maybe you two can get matching hearing aids and go to the ear doctor together. That'll be a sight to behold.
Get out of my way! Express coming through! Then there was trouble. Workmen were called in to check Gordon's parts.
Just what I thought.
What? What is it?
Your brake pipe is completely broken, Gordon. That's what was banging around inside you, and that's what caused your brakes to snap on. I'm afraid you won't be going anywhere for a while.
Oh, the indignity.
Sir Topham Hatt was notified of the calamity outside Knapford Station. Yes, I understand. You really don't think I understand that the express being cancelled will set back the island an entire day in funds and work? I could have you reported for saying such things to me. Instead of arguing, let's actually come up with a solution to this. We could reroute the train to the docks. I can have an engine waiting there within the next half hour. Splendid. I'll send for another engine at once.
The station master was told about the chain.
We'll have to find another engine. Please, sir, I'll pull it.
No, James, I'm sorry, but once Gordon's brakes are off, we'll need you to shunt him to the steamworks. What about that little engine over there?
Fergus, he's much too small to pull the train. What's this about me being small? Do I need to get triggered?
No, Fergus, no need to get triggered. This workman just suggested that you should pull the express. Now, I'm sure we both know that that's just insane, so
I'll do it.
Wait, what?
I'll pull the express. The coaches aren't that heavy. Anyway, I'm sure I can do it.
So Gordon's coaches were uncoupled from Gordon and given to Fergus. James watched with anticipation as Fergus waited for his instructions. Remember, Fergus, you're only to take the train to Brendam Docks. Another engine will be there to take over when you arrive.
Yes, sir, said Fergus excitedly.
The coaches were heavier now that they had passengers, and Fergus found it difficult to start the train. He hadn't made it very far when Edward arrived.
Hello, everyone. What's with all the commotion? Gordon's brakes snapped on, so Fergus is gonna try to take the express for him.
That's a very big job, Fergus. Are you sure you're up for it?
No worries, Edward. I'm on it.
Duh.
Okay, maybe I could use a little help.
Well, I have an idea. When I was stranded once, my coaches seemed heavy too. So my driver loosened the couplings between each coach so each coach could help pull the other along with me. That made the journey much easier.
That's a brilliant idea, Edward.
So Fergus's driver took Edward's advice and loosened the couplings between the coaches. As Fergus pulled, he helped to start the first coach, and the first helped the second. Hurrah, we're off! Hurrah, we're off! Oh crap, there's a hill. Just my luck, ain't it? Fergus struggled just a little bit. However, he was able to get the coaches over the hill. Fergus traveled across the island and soon arrived at Brenham Docks. Whew. I must be collapsing from heat exhaustion, because I'm seeing some strange things right now. Oh no, my little friend. You're only seeing what's right in front of you. 'Tis I, the Flying Scotsman. Scotsman's here to take over the Express, Fergus. Really? Oh, that's a relief. Fergus. Well, that's quite an interesting name. That meant to be an insult, buddy. I'm really tired right now, and really susceptible to my anger issues. Not at all. I like engines with interesting names. I mean, just look at my name, for example. I mean, it's a Flying Scotsman. Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just really irritable right now. Well, I can understand. Pulling the Express is a hard job, but I could have never imagined a small traction engine like you being able to pull it off. Please stop before you trigger me. I'm honestly getting very angry right now. I meant no disrespect, my dear boy. Anywho, I'd best be off. Fergus, would you mind slinking off into that siding over there for me? Fergus left the coaches and slunk on to a siding out of the way as Flying Scotsman backed down onto the train. Oh, and Fergus, one last thing. Do you know where Gordon is? Last time I saw him, he was at Knapford with his brakes hard on. He should be at the steamworks by now. Thank you, Fergus. You've been a great help. Wait, why do you want to know where Gordon is anyway? Well, why didn't you know? Gordon is my brother, my dear boy. After a few hours of rest, Fergus was finally able to limp his way back to his shed. There was no way he was going to do any other work. Next morning, Fergus was passing through Knapford Station when he noticed that Gordon was there. Hello, Gordon. It's good to see you out and about again. Fergus died a little inside saying those words, since he really wanted to tear Gordon to shreds for breaking down yesterday. Hello, Fergus. Thank you. Listen, Fergus, perhaps I was a little hard on you for the whole getting out of my way at the top station thing. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man, you really did kind of trigger me. Yes, I know, and I apologize for that. I think we need to reach a compromise if we're ever going to stop arguing about this. How's about I'll work hard to leave the station before you arrive, if you agree to not be so bossy when I'm late. Does that sound like a deal? Well, you basically took the most obvious answer we both could have concocted and put it into simpler terms so the kiddies at home could understand what you were implying. Just accept the terms, Gordon. All right, I accept. I was just stating the truth. Because as we all know, the truth is not mean. It is simply the truth. No, hey, look at the time. I best be off. By the way, Gordon, I kinda met your brother. He's a really nice guy. See you later. That seemed odd. Wait, you met my brother? You didn't. Did too. I took the express. Come on now, Fergus, don't be daft. There's no way you could have generated enough power to even fathom pulling the express. You'd be surprised, old-timer. Those coaches aren't as heavy as you think. I may be going a bit senile in my old age, but there's no force on this island that would ever convince me that you pulled the express. Suit yourself. I'll see you later. Hello, Gordon. Have you heard the crazy delusion Fergus has been spreading? What, that I have a brother who may or may not be Flying Scotsman? Well, no, although he did mention that. No, I was referring to the lie that he pulled the express. Those words even sound crazy when I say it. That's no lie, Duke. Fergus really did pull the express yesterday in my absence. Maybe Fergus is right. Maybe I am losing my hearing, because I know I did not just hear you say that. No, Duke, it's true. Save it.
I better go to the steamworks and get my hearing checked. But Duke, wait, it's... Oh, the indignity.